Hello, welcome to SD Game Talk. Today we bring to you what is happening again still in the Premier League. And first, we're going to look at the Pep Guardiola, what he's cooking behind the scene to present to us next week. So we're going to be talking about Manchester City and Chelsea, looking at the two squads and to see what they've got for us this season. We're actually going to be looking straight to the front line because that is what matters most. Every team playing wants, of course, a stronger attack line. So we're going to see what Pep Guardiola has for us. And as well, we're going to be taking a look at Chelsea, what Enzo Maresca is bringing for us. So we break down this team to compare to see what is going to happen this season. After some failures of Pep Guardiola last season, we see what he has for us. But first, we're going to start Chelsea. Chelsea having a 6-man squad, 7 plus Gittens. Looking at this, we're going to think Chelsea is still going to be so strong. Chelsea is going to be so strong, but I think there is a very big problem here inside of Chelsea. So let's go to these players one by one to see what they've got. So this is what Enzo Maresca has got to present to us. He brought forth just Liam Delap and João Pedro add to this squad, and we're going to look at where Kunku and Jackson are a little bit lacking. I don't know if they're going to improve this upcoming season. It's going to be more better for the club and for Enzo Maresca. But so let's see. We've got Enzo, who is going to be bringing more players. At first, I thought Chelsea is buying too much players, but then if you look at this team, you're going to notice that there is a very big problem here. Chelsea can literally, Chelsea can, of course, have very, very big issues with this same squad. So I don't know how Enzo Maresca is going to present them. I don't know if Enzo Maresca is going to bring more players into the squad. But let's see. We've got first player, we have Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer last season sometimes was very dormant. He couldn't score like what we were expecting him. I mean, winning the young best player of the previous season. Before that season, he actually went down, and maybe because of the playing system or whatever. But now we're going to look at hoping or looking up to him to see Enzo Maresca to see what he's going to bring into the team, how he's going to step up, and actually his improvement in the team. So I believe that he is one player that Chelsea is highly, really looking up to. And we're going to take a look at João Pedro. João Pedro just came into the club a few matches and he did something very, very good. I mean, something promising for a striker to just come in, and then do scoring goals like that in the Club World Cup. I think he's putting into the mind of the Chelsea fans that he can do a lot of things for Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans are already believing in him compared to Kunku, Nicholas Jackson, and for sure maybe Liam Delap. And so João Pedro, I think he's going to be a very, very good and important signing for Chelsea this season. But is he going to continue this run like what he started with in the Club World Cup? Because actually we're playing different games, but now we're talking about England, even though he has a very good experience playing in the English Premier League. Actually, I believe for myself personally, he's going to do a lot for Chelsea, which is going to be great. And then we'll take a look at the next player, which is Nicholas Jackson. He's a very good player when it comes to keeping the ball, when it comes to creating chances as well. So sometimes when something is going wrong, it shouldn't be just on one player, because if you want to talk about his weaknesses, the number of games, the matches he played without scoring. If you look at this Jackson here, you'll notice that, of course, Palmer as well wasn't performing when Chelsea needed him. So Palmer was down as well, and there was no one, to really step up. And so Jackson was lagging as well as Palmer. But still, we're not going to deny the fact that he lacks finishing. But we're going to give him applause, congratulate him for the way he keeps the ball. If you look at his goals, just take a look at his runs in Chelsea. I think maybe in the next video, we're going to bring to you his plays, his creativity, and all the chances he created in the Premier League this season. So looking at Jackson, you can see that he's someone who lacks a lot of finishing, but still at the end of the day, I like him for one thing, that he is the guy who doesn't really lose the ball as you expect. When they give him the ball, he tries to do something. Watch a couple of games, thousands of them, where he does this. He has repeated it over and over. If you check his goal with West Ham, not his goal, the assist he gave through the midfield against West Ham to Cole Palmer, he actually did a lot of great jobs. So I think Manchester United have been asking him, and a couple of clubs as well. But so far, I'm sure the D is not going to go anywhere. I believe he's going to stay in Chelsea. So this is one of our striker. Chelsea is going to be one of the striker Chelsea is going to be using this season. Let's take a look at Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto as well stepped up in the Club World Cup in a very, very excellent way. I mean, he really stepped up all the Club World Cup, all the journey to the Club World Cup. He was really good the way he played and the way he created chances, scoring goals as well. I think he's going to be a very, very good and important player for Chelsea this season. But I have a very big issue when it comes to Pedro Neto substitute. We're going to take a look at that soon. We see what Pedro Neto weaknesses are, where his weaknesses are coming from. We see of Liam Delap, very good player as well, good experience in the Premier League. I believe he's going to do something if he has the time, of course. I like one thing, he's so determined to score. He's determined to make it happen, and he's determined to break the net, and I like his spirit of fighting. When he grabs the ball, he just wants to do something with it, and that's what makes Liam Delap so special. And so this is one of Enzo Maresca's trust. I mean, he's going to be putting his trust maybe on Liam Delap, João Pedro, and of course Nicolas Jackson as well. And so we're going to see Kunku. Kunku was sometimes very snobbish and sluggy, but sometimes you see he didn't step up, he didn't play what we expected. Maybe for sure he's going to leave the club, or it's not certain yet. Rumors keep flying around, but we're going to let you know as soon as possible if any club is interested to get Christopher Kunku. However, Christopher Kunku was really, really slow last season, but I'm not going to deny the fact that he was so good when it comes to the conference league that he played. He was one of the person who carried Chelsea from group stage right up to where we ended, and then won the trophy. So Christopher Kunku, one of the strikers for Chelsea. I don't know how Enzo Maresca is going to manage to use him, but for sure something really important and something really good is going to come out from him. And we're going to take a look at the last Chelsea striker up front player, which is going to be Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku, looking at his performance in Borussia Dortmund, it's kind of good. I believe he is going to be of good help. But if Jeremy doesn't pick up, or he doesn't play well, I believe Enzo Maresca is really, really going to suffer for that, because looking at this guy, this is the only hope. If Chelsea doesn't sign any other player, this is the only hope that Chelsea is going to have. I mean, personally for me, if we don't sign any other player and this guy doesn't turn up, he doesn't play well, Chelsea is going to be in serious problem. I'm going to tell you why. Let's look at all these players. I didn't put George here because maybe he's going to be playing. I'm talking about the players that are going to be playing the Premier League. Maybe Josh is going to be playing some cups. So, if you look at this squad here, right away, you see, this is a team that is going to be playing in the Premier League and of course playing in the Champions League as well. That is the reason why I'm saying Chelsea has a very big problem here. Okay, assuming we've got João Pedro, we've got Liam Delap and Nicolas Jackson and maybe Kunku. These are the strikers here. But now coming to the wings, how do they do it? We've got just Pedro Neto and Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, if you're going to force him to play at the wing, we've got just Cole Palmer and this guy. What if in case there is an injury? So that is where Chelsea or Enzo Maresca is going to have a very big problem. I used to be one of the person who thinks that Chelsea is signing a lot of players. We should leave it like so or whatever. But I think, yeah, signing more players, we really, really need more players, especially like they were going for Garnacho. I think it's going to be very important for Chelsea. But hopefully, we are hoping on Gittens to pick up. I didn't put his face here. Gittens, if he's going to pick up, that is where he's going to try to save Enzo Maresca for a bit. Now, let's see what Enzo Maresca does, how he plays. Let's assume like he's playing. This is where the injury problem might affect Chelsea here. And so if he's gonna play Cole Palmer here, and this is João Pedro can be Nicolas Jackson or Liam Delap, and we got here Pedro Neto, and this is where the problem comes. What if Pedro Neto is injured? If Pedro Neto is injured, let's assume if Pedro Neto is injured, it's going to be a very big problem for Chelsea, because you're going to find him either bringing Cole Palmer here to play in the left wing, or otherwise forcing some other players to come in. That's the reason why I think we need someone like maybe Garnacho or one other player, even though Gittens can play. But then, see, this is the case where he plays Palmer here. So here, in case of any injury for Chelsea, it's going to be a very big problem for Chelsea. So just 2 injury is going to make to Maresca to suffer this season. In case you're going to have an injury with Neto, and of course, if Palmer as well picks up an injury, is going to be very, very difficult for Enzo Maresca, because if you see here, I believe here he has already Jackson, he has already Kunku, and he has already Liam Delap here. But then this is where the problems lie. He doesn't have someone to actually really replace these 2 guys in this wing. So I believe Chelsea still needs to buy more players. And we see here he's going to play Enzo Fernandez. He plays Enzo here, and then now he's trying to bring Rhys James to this position. He's trying to bring Rhys James to this position, and then here you're going to find Caicedo which is looking at these three players all here. You cannot replace any of these guys with any of these three players. It's going to be very difficult. Let's assume that he brings Papa here to play here, and then Rhys James is going to move up front, or otherwise he's going to bring maybe Kunku to play here. Maybe Kunku, like sometimes you usually force Kunku to play at the right wing. So all in all, if Chelsea is going to have some injuries between these two guys, it's going to be very difficult for. And remember that he's using these players to play for the league and of course for the Champions League. So you cannot really play them Champions League, Premier League, Champions League, Premier League. Of course, fatigue is going to meet the players. So it's very important to take note of these players. I think Chelsea still needs to go in for some more players like they are looking for Ghana. So what is going to help Enzo Maresca better is when if Jeremy Doku is going to be on top form. You know, he's going to play very well. I think Jeremy Doku can actually help Cole Palmer and can actually help as well Pedro Neto, because you know, with the Madueke just left, and you know, a couple of players just went out of the club, and so for the midfield and the defense line, I don't know, but we kind of like, okay, but this attack is going to be very difficult. So we're gonna see what Pep Guardiola has. Pep Guardiola is coming with so much confidence this season. I mean, if you look at this Sauvignon, look at Cheki, Haaland suffered a lot of injuries last season, but I believe he's going to be very okay this season. So this is what Pep Guardiola is bringing for the Premier League next week. So let's see what he has, I mean, individually for all these players. You can see Pep Guardiola is a very feared coach. I mean, when you mention Pep Guardiola, I mean, in the league, you don't just consider him like any other coach. You know, he has a lot of talent and coaching skills. Like, he has done a lot. So I think Pep last season he has some ups and downs, but I believe this season he's going to come very well, and he comes very well. Trust me, when you mention Pep Guardiola's name, all the coaches, they do really take it serious, because he really knows how to, you know, do the job that he does. So let's see what Pep Guardiola has for the Premier League this season. First, we're going to start with Haaland. Haaland last season suffered a lot of injuries. I mean, but still at the end of the day, he still can't look at the goals he scored was still very important for the club. And if he's going to come back strong this season, he's going to do a lot of damage to the team. So this is one player that Pep Guardiola is really hoping on to survive this season in the Premier League. Haaland, very good and very good finisher. If he comes back like super good, I mean, he's going to be very important for Manchester City. We see Phil Foden. Phil Foden as well. Yeah, sometimes last season he wasn't on his best form, but still these kind of players, you cannot just judge them like they don't know. But if he's going to come this time more stronger than last season, I think Phil Foden is a very good player. He's going to do, of course, a very good job for Manchester City. So these are the players that I'm really confident with. Haaland, Phil Foden, and we look at where Cheki just came in. I mean, the way he's developing, the way he's picking up form and getting himself to fit in the Pep Guardiola squad. I think he is going to be a very good and important player for Pep Guardiola as well. So I think Cheki is very good. And let's look at Omar Mahmoud. Omar Mahmoud, very excellent. I mean, he missed some very great and important chances last season, but let's say because of pressure. But then I think this is going to be a very good backup for Haaland, and maybe very important as well for Pep Guardiola as he's playing in the Champions League and in the Premier League as well. Omar Mahmoud is going to be very great for them. And then let's see Sauvignon. Sauvignon sometimes last season was very dangerous when he holds the ball. You know, I love his control. I love his dribbles. He doesn't lose the ball that easily. But if you look at the confidence when he holds the ball, I think Sauvignon is gonna come this season with this much form he had last season. There's gonna be a lot of changes and for the Manchester City club. And let's take a look at Doku. Doku holds the ball very well. I mean, a good dribbler. He has speed. He can run. He can dribble. So it's not easy with him. It's not easy with any defender just going in. You cannot just be like a defender. You dash into Jeremy Doku like that. You know, he's very sometimes scary, and of course, you know, he creates a lot of chances as well. Though scoring less, but I mean, when he holds the ball, you see the quality. A defender doesn't just charge at him anyhow when he is in control of the ball. So Jeremy Doku, one of the front line for Manchester City and one of the most important player for Manchester City as well. So this is what Pep Guardiola is going to be bringing this season. I believe they are still doing behind the doors some more signings, but this is what he's going to present to us this coming season. And we look at all these players. I believe the quality of these players for me is more that of Chelsea, because he's got two solid strikers, and of course everywhere he's gonna have backup. You've got just Haaland and Mahmoud, but everywhere Pep Guardiola has backup. Talking about these two teams, I mean, if I want to judge, I believe that Pep Guardiola's side is going to be more stronger than Chelsea's side, because Chelsea still needs to do a little bit of adjustment. If you're looking at Chelsea, you look at all these players, you're going to find a lot of strikers, but their wingers, I think Chelsea is going to be lagging when it comes to the wing. But then when you look at Pep Guardiola has backup in almost every position, just need to bring in the tactics and then get the deal done. So for Chelsea and Manchester City, I believe that Manchester City is having a more better team front line than Chelsea. But what is going to make it more important as well is what they've got in the midfield and of course in the defense line. If you're just joining us, if you really subscribe to our channel, just follow us on YouTube as well. Subscribe to our channel. We are all over on Facebook, TikTok, and why not Instagram? You're gonna find us SD Game Talks everywhere. We bring to you the best of the best that you want to get in the sports community this season. Just waiting for the games to start, and then we're gonna do a breakdown of live matches and show analysis of how it is going all around. We're gonna be talking about Manchester United as well, and of course we're gonna be talking about Arsenal, what Arsenal still they are bringing forward, and we're gonna go as well to maybe in Paris Ligue 1 to check about Paris Saint-Germain, who has been dominating the Ligue 1 for so many years. We look at other clubs that are willing to challenge Paris Saint-Germain this season. And why not Serie A? We're going to be visiting Serie A and some other leagues around the world to bring to you the best news that you want to hear. Stay tuned, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.